That starts a Demm report.
Well, we've talked a lot about food this morning and unusual foods. P1 Kevin S. found this one from Australia. A 48-year-old woman survived 5 days alone in the bush, despite being totally unprepared. Family members of Lillian Eep contacted authorities in Wodonga on April 30th when she didn't show up after a, quote, short day trip. Rescuers did not find Lillian for 4 more days. On the 5th day, police spotted her car during an air search. Lillian was with the car. Brilliant. Smart. That's one of the smartest things she did. She was alive, she was dehydrated, and she was hungry. All she had with her on her journey was a handful of lollipops and a bottle of wine.
Wow. And she made it. Did she drink the whole bottle of wine over 5 days?
I assume that she did. Yeah. She doesn't drink normally, she said. Her family said that the bottle was a gift for her mom.
No kidding.
And she was trying to visit like a park, like a dam.
Yeah.
She got lost,
tried
to turn around, and her car got stuck in the mud. And then she was miles from she's in Wodonga. She's 30 miles from Wodonga. So there was no cell service.
You're a wine drinker.
Yes.
My prediction is if you were in that same situation and you had a bottle of Merlot, you'd turn your back on it. Just smash it.
I'm not drinking any Merlot.
That's right.
Just open your arms up and let the ravens come eat you. Take my liver.
Before I'll have a glass, even a sip of Merlot past these
This
lips.
is the wrong temperature.
That is not happening. Oh, yeah. You got to get a friendly red. You're not going to have it at that temperature.
It needs to be at 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
You think in the bush?
Yeah, they're too warm
You're
sometimes.
not getting that.
Or you're unlucky and don't have a corkscrew.
Yeah, right. Oh, God.
Painful with that.
Hope she had a twist
Oh,
off.
my God, to drink.
That's a Twilight Zone twist.
Do you think you're good enough? If let's say it's a corked wine, you don't have a corkscrew, you're taking it for a gift. Could you break off the top of it somehow and then drink the wine?
You're going to lose some in the break.
And not clean. You just have to smash it on your car.
But you're only talking about, you're going to lose some in the break, but you're only talking about 3 or 4 ounces that you need that, to stay in.
Yeah.
What do you think? I don't know that I could do it, though. You try to cleanly break it.
You don't know what's going to happen.
I don't think a human could do it. I think you just have to smash.
You do. And then I bet you lose almost all of it. Don't you think?
At least half.
You could try and crack it. If you
try.
With a light tap.
If you had any kind of tool, you try to tap on it, to break it.
Get a sharp rock and start cutting the glass.
Yeah, try.
Or on the
in 200 short years, you've had it open.
Yeah.
Or on the wheel of the car, maybe.
You know who you need? Mr. Miyagi. Remember that scene?
What did he do?
I'm talking about? Okay, it's a 37-year-old movie.
I've only seen the movie once.
Which he moved glass?
Mr. Miyagi.
Cork on, cork off?
No.
Man, I know he can fix injuries with his hands.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing. And I don't know how they shot this either, because I've paused it many times. I've really gone inside.
Deep dive?
I've done a deep dive on one scene in Karate Kid.
One.
And again, I've seen the movie.
Is the Karate Kid one?
The first Karate Kid, the original, the OG. I've seen the movie 1,000 times. I can't believe you only seen it once, Dave.
999 times more than me.
I've lost some respect for you.
Well.
Okay. He's teaching Daniel how to get good balance. And the way he does that is he takes him out on a lake, and Daniel is standing on the end of a canoe, and he shakes it, and Daniel's got to balance on the edge of the canoe. When they come back, or I think they're at the beach, and Daniel's getting knocked down by waves. They come back, and a couple of guys are leaned against his truck, and they've got like 4 or 5 beer bottles that they've already drunk sitting on the wheel of his truck, just sitting there. And they come up, and he goes, "Kindly remove bottle from truck. Boy, cold, need go home." And the guy makes fun of him. He's like, "Why don't you do it yourself, Mr. Moto?" And Mr. Miyagi goes, "Hi-ya!" And he hits the side of one of the bottles, and all 3 or 4 of the bottles break. The necks break, and they're in half, but they don't fall off the truck. And I can't figure out how they shot the scene. I mean, I have no idea how they did that. Even if the bottles were already sort of half broken for him, it's like almost impossible.
No CGI on that.
No, this is the 80s. I'll show you the scene.
Well,
and then, he's like, and of course the guys are like, oh my gosh. And Daniel says, "How did you do that?" And he goes, "Don't know. First try." God darn.
Miyagi.
See, so what you need out there in the bush
is Miyagi.
That's what I would have been thinking. Literally, that's where my mind
was. It's a small Japanese man.
I need my now. Where am I going to find a small Japanese man
that can run a diner
in the bush? How can I find a small Japanese karate expert
with a
here
car collection
in Australia?
Well, you're closer there than you are here.
Right, yes. We have the mechanic is talking about how to get the cork out of the wine, if that's the case. Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually I had a girl over on a date one night, and trying to impress her, I bought her a bottle of wine. Did not own a corkscrew, so what I ended up having to do was push the cork down into the bottle.
Yes.
With what?
Yeah, you'd have to. How did you do that?
I think I used the back of a spoon.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to find something.
Yeah, once you get the foil off.
Not easier. That's easier said than done.
It is. You're right. Thank you, the mechanics.
That's smart, though.
Yeah,
that's logical thinking.
That's how you do it. But then
Why pull? You can push.
We're smashing the bottle in the car.
that's right. That's probably what Miyagi would have done. He'd probably just push cork through wine instead of breaking it like that. Nate, you have an idea for the cork? Go ahead.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
I just wanted to call and tell you the craziest thing I ever saw once was I was drinking wine. We were hanging out with these people, and this dude brought some wine, and we couldn't find the corkscrew, didn't have one, whatever, and we were like, how are we going to get this open? And we started to freak out a little bit, and then the guy was like, don't worry, guys, I got it. And he took the shoelace out of his shoe, and he opened the cork on the wine with just his shoestring. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
How did he do that?
Well, that's the problem. I got drunk and forgot.
Right. Don't know. First try. Right. Do you think he took the little end piece and stuck it into the cork? And then, no, that wouldn't work.
I don't think it would work.
That wouldn't work.
You don't have any
Dang.
Yeah, you got to have
tension.
some sort of force and.
Hey, you drank too much that night. That's a great story.
Should not have got sloshed.
No
I
resolution.
mean, you can't tie the lace tightly enough around the neck to pop it off.
Impossible.
No.
I wouldn't think. No way, because it's glass on the outside of it.
I don't think it happened.
Scooter, you have a cork idea. This came from a woman who was stuck in the Australian outback, the bush, and all she had was lollipops and a bottle of wine. And we said, well, what if the wine was corked and you didn't have a corkscrew? My guess is she had a screw-off cap. What do you think, Scooter? You have an idea?
PR1 Scooter from Jacksonville.
Thank you, Scooter.
If you take a bottle, yes, sir. If you take a bottle of wine and you flip it upside down and you use the heel of your shoe and you tap on it pretty hard, not hard enough to break it, but the gravity will help push that corkscrew out, just like setting a hammer.
No kidding.
You turn the hammer upside down, you tap on the bottom of it, and it'll actually set the hammer. The corkscrew will slowly pop out just enough where you can grab it with your teeth.
Then you can grab it with your hands or your
you do
teeth.
have to get the foil off.
Yeah, you
generally,
have to get the foil.
I don't have. You can use your car key for that.
Use your key, your teeth, whatever it takes for that. By the way, the exact same story. Thanks, Scooter. Really appreciate you listening. The story that Kristen just told, we have it from an Australian news source. At the end, we have the woman, just for a moment, speaking about what.
Is the Dave Aiken twist? Is the Dave Aiken twist in there?
The Dave Aiken twist.
I think I'll explain.
Okay.
Later.
Well, the end of it is just her saying, it's a miracle.
Good evening. A Cheltenham woman stranded for 5 days in Victoria's high country says she was convinced she was about to die. Lillian Ip survived on nothing but a fruit box and a bottle of wine until help from above arrived.
No food, no water, no phone reception, and no logical way out.
And I thought that I was going to die there.
But she made it. That's the woman.
She did. She said that when the police finally arrived, the rescuers finally arrived, she said one of the policewomen who showed up was a smoker, and she said, I need a cigarette.
Oh, that's the Dave Aiken twist.
So she lit up out there in Flavor Country.
I like her.